This is not the 96 Bulls now. Let's get that correct.
Did you hear what I said? Pippen averaged 22, 9, and 6 with 2 steals in the playoffs.
Hey, Clay averaged 22 points a game.
What?
What?
Are you?
Welcome back to another episode of The GOAT Debate, brought to you by GOAT Debate Media. I'm your host, Abaya Israel. I'm here with the two best coaches online, Coach Scott, the reigning champion, and also Coach J.O. We about to get started here in a second. We're going to find out who the best team in NBA history is. Stay tuned. Watch the whole show. You don't want to miss this.
Even though I killed the ghost, there's still room to debate. It's either Jordan or LeBron who being labeled the great. If you hungry for the smoke, then come and get you a plate. Cause some rock with LBJ and some giving them hate. Haters tune into the show cause we about to get into it. Jordan is the GOAT. But now it's time to prove it.
All right. The bracket is here. All right. What we doing, if you're new and if you have not got a chance to check out any of the episodes, Tuesday nights we record until we start going live. That is, Tuesday nights we record the best teams, the best players, whether it be NBA, NFL, whatever. We go over every sport, every position, because we want to find the GOAT in everything. So right now, we're searching for the best team in NBA history. And if you went with us last time, we're on round number 2. And let me look at the brackets. We have the 1996 Bulls against the 1987 Los Angeles Lakers. We also have the 2017 Golden State Warriors against the 1997 Chicago Bulls, the 1989 Detroit Pistons versus the 2001 Lakers, and the 1991 Bulls versus the 2016 Golden State Warriors. The winners of this round will move into the Final Four and then on to the championship. Now, how this is going to work, the coach's job, both coaches, their job is to convince you, the viewer, who to vote for. The brackets that I'm talking about, we're going to put the link down in the description and the comment section. So when you click the link, you can go over and vote for which team you think is a better team and which team would win to move to the next round. And we do that all the way till we get to the championship. And once we get to the championship, the team that is left will be crowned the GOAT Debate greatest team in NBA history. So again, the job of the coaches as we go through each game is to convince you which team is going to win, which team is the best team. For example, the 96 Bulls versus the 87 Lakers. I don't know which team either coach is going for. We'll figure that out here in a second. But if Coach Scott is going with the 96 Bulls and Coach J.O. is going with the 87 Lakers, they must present the facts, the stats, the history, chemistry, how the team performed on offense, how the team performed on defense, how they rebounded. Why would that team be the team to move on and beat the other team? And why is this the best team in NBA history? All right. So they're going to convince you, and you may have a different thought, but they're going to attempt to change your mind to sway you to why they believe the team is the best team. And we're going to get started. Make sure you guys vote. Again, the link is in the description section and it's going to be pinned in the comment section. As you guys see, Coach Scott is holding a very, very nice championship belt right there. Because if he could convince you of the teams that he's saying is the best team and you guys vote for that team, and he has more, he's convinced the crowd to vote for more of the teams that he thinks is the best, then he wins. He's the champ. He's the debate champion. As you see, Coach J.O. ain't got a belt right now. He's coming for the belt. And he said he thanks some of y'all out that just voted for the Bulls last time because they were the Chicago Bulls, 96 Bulls. But I'm like, J.O., come on, man. That's what it is. But anyway, Coach J.O., listen, you got to be ready this week. Before we get started, you got to be ready. Let's give that quick shout out to my guy. I'm going to give you the mic because I don't want to steal the honors and let you do so real quick.
Before we get started, I want to give a special shout out to Coach Charlie Bass of Sumter County Middle School, my brother, my friend. Let you know we're thinking about you, man, from Coach J.O. and the GOAT Debate family, the Bass family. Y'all in our thoughts and our prayers. Get well soon, Coach. I love you.
Yes, sir. Coach Bass, salute. Yes, all right. Shout out. All right. So we are back. All right. And we're going to start with Coach J.O. And when we start with him, we're going to start with the first game in the quarterfinals. All right. Now, mind you, if you guys haven't seen it, it is a bracket. We need you guys to go and vote. All right. There is a bracket. So we're going to start with the first game in the quarterfinals, which is the 1996 Chicago Bulls and the 1987 Los Angeles Lakers. Before you go in on your stats, Coach J.O. and Coach Scott, tell me really quickly, what team you going for, Coach J.O.?
Very, very tight, very close, but I gotta go with the Bulls in 7. Bulls in 7.
All right. Coach Scott?
I'm going with them 87 Lakers, and we got to do it in 6 because if it go to 7, we already know what happens when Michael Jordan gets that far, which he doesn't get that far often. So we got to do it in 6. So I'm going with these 87 Lakers.
Coach J.O., look like you're going to win the belt tonight. All right, let's get started. All right, Coach J.O., we're going to start with you. Why the Bulls? Why do you think the Bulls will beat the 96 Bulls beat the 1987 Showtime Lakers? Come on, let's make it good.
All right. First off, right now, we got to give some love to the Lakers. This is one of the greatest teams ever, right? It just is. And I feel like if we had a poll for the best teams of all time, they'll finish top 3 or top 5. They just are. But when these games like this and these series are like this, it comes down to one determining factor. Who is the best player on the court? And that's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Make no mistake about it, okay? We do know Michael Jordan doesn't go to game 7s. Doesn't go to them a lot. Matter of fact, he's never played in one in the NBA Finals. But this is a very, very good Lakers team. Very good. And also, the Bulls will have home court advantage, okay? 72-10. One of the best records ever. The second best record of all time. They will have home court advantage. So
Wait,
that
second
right
best?
there alone helps them out. Helps them out a lot. Okay? Now, think about this. All of the games that the Lakers lost in the 87 playoffs were on the road. They lost 3 games, the entire playoffs in the 87. And all of those games was on the road. Okay? So how much more so against the Bulls at that United Center? Okay? Think about this. I don't think people even think about this as well. The United Center had almost 1 million fans attend the games the entire year. Okay? 1 million fans. They packed the house every night. 23,000 people packed the house. That home court advantage with that crowd is going to be tough. Okay? Now, let's think about this, right? We got the MJ factor. It's the MJ factor. It's hard to beat them. In 1987, let's think about this. In 1987, Michael Jordan faced those same Lakers, dropped 41 on them, 41-10 in their first meeting. True enough, they lost. But he had who? Nobody at that time. Nobody worth naming. Now you talking about all NBA Scottie Pippen. You're talking about all defense Dennis Rodman. Leading the league in rebound, Dennis Rodman. That's going to be a load, man, to deal with. That's going to be a load to deal with. Coach Scott, you're going to have to show
me. Let me ask. So you think that Bulls will have something, for Kareem?
Of course. When you talk about Luke Longley, when you talk about Dennis Rodman, you got to think about this. Kareem's kryptonite, we're big man. Okay? Got to remember that. Moses Malone, Hakeem Olajuwon. Those guys beat up on Kareem. Now, true enough, Dennis Rodman and Luke Longley aren't those guys. But, hey, they did. Okay? They did that. Think about this as well. The Lakers were number 10 in pace that year, but they dropped to 90. They went from 101 pace to 97 pace in the playoffs. So their pace wasn't really going to be a factor in the playoffs. And the Bulls, that defense, man, that length, that tenacity is just going to be hard to deal with.
Okay. Well, Coach Scott, let's come to you. Now, you got you have the 87 Lakers. And I respect them Lakers. Now, that's Showtime Lakers. They did their thing, People like, we not done with the 80s. We not done with the 90s. We realize how good the teams were in the 80s and 90s, but I need to hear why you decided to go with the 87 Lakers over the 96 Bulls. Man, we got to make this good. What my popcorn? You got it. Go ahead.
Absolutely. One of the things I love to do is I love to listen to some really great conversations and love to listen to great debates. And Coach J.O. makes some phenomenal points. I love the points that he's making, but man, you make the points in my favor. I'm going to actually sit on your porch for a little while and I'm going to choke you to death with everything you just said. Look, 23,000 people in front of the Showtime Hollywood Lakers, man, that is nothing more than Showtime at the Apollo for Magic Johnson and his cast. Understand this. You said they do have the best player. But one of the things you forget to actually add into the conversation is these Showtime Lakers, the 87 Lakers, this is why they beat the 1996 Bulls. Now, all is not lost, Bull fans, so be fair, listen to what I'm saying, and vote honestly. I'm going to actually jump on your bandwagon a little bit later, but just not right now. Look, we got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We got Magic Johnson. We got Michael Cooper. We got James Worthy. We got AC Green. We got Byron Scott. We got Michael Thompson. We got players coming off the bench that is going to literally wear these Bulls down. We're going to wear them down. Even though they have the best player, we are going to be a team that's going to be the Showtime Lakers. And in the United Center with 23,000 fans, what do you do when you bring Hollywood to Chicago? You just act the part. You be who you've been the whole time. These Showtime Lakers will literally run up and down the court with these Bulls. Even though they had Scottie Pippen, even though they had Luke Longley, even though they had a Dennis Rodman, these Showtime Lakers would have ran the floor with them. Look at the points per game. They're averaging 118 points per game. Even though this defense was a very stout Bulls defense, they're not stopping 117.8 points per game. You're looking at an average of 105. They scored, but on defense, they were holding teams to 93 points per game. Do you honestly think that from 118 points per game, they were going to reduce a team and hold them back from like 25 points less? Absolutely not. These Showtime Lakers would have showed up and showed out in the United Center, and all we was waiting for is to bring you guys back to LA and show you a good old time. These are the same Bulls. This is the same Michael Jordan that could not, should not, would not, and did not beat those Boston Celtics that put him out of the playoffs year after year after year after year after year.
It wasn't that many years.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, 6. But hey, who's counting? Here's why these Lakers beat the Bulls. Because they beat the Boston Celtics 4-2, and that's what these Lakers beat the Bulls 4-2. That's what I'm calling. That's what I stand on. Coach J.O. is on you.
Okay. Well, hold on. No, it's not. Back to me. No. All right. Listen, I'm gonna let you respond, J.O., but I'm gonna say this now. Whoo, might be Scott for president. That was a hell of a speech. That's a hell of a speech, man. Might be Scott for president. He might be retaining that belt, J.O. You got to convince us how, because that was heck of I'm a Bulls guy. I think 96 Bulls is the greatest team with the first best record because the playoffs count out of everybody. But he makes a hell of a point, Coach. I'm going to let you respond. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you guys the floor. Y'all got it.
Okay, check this out, right? 1987, right? Who was the leading scorer in the NBA? Michael Jeffrey Jordan, 37 points a game, okay? Number one in win shares as well. This is 1987. Think about this. How much more so in 1996? A full-grown Michael Jordan, all right? With a full-grown Pippen, with a full-grown Robin. I heard you say, Coach, well, the Bulls won't hold the Lakers to no 93 points a game. How about this? How about 86.8 points a game? Because that's what they were holding teams in the playoffs. That's 6.9 points below league playoff average. That's what they were doing. They was holding them below league playoff average. You got to understand that, right? The Bulls had the MVP, the scoring leader, the rebounding leader, 2 All-NBA first team, 3 All-NBA first team defenders. Number one in scoring,
number 1 offensive rating, number 1 defensive rating, number 4 rebounding team, the number 5 assist team, the number 3 steals team. Listen, coach, you got to understand this. Defense and rebounding wins championships. You got to understand this. And you're asking about who's going to do something with Kareem, who's going to do something with Michael Jordan. Do y'all understand this? Do you not understand this? I told you in a meeting in 1987, he gave them 41 and 10. And he was a puppy. That's when he was a puppy. How much more so in 1996?
You know what, Coach? Man, that I forgot about Jamal Mashburn and Dan Marley. These are some underrated players that people.
Right.
I don't care 80s to the 90s. I'm not gonna say they'll come into right now and just dominate, but they would be some pretty good players in today's league as well. But go ahead, Coach. I'm gonna give you the last word, and we're gonna move to the next game.
Jamal Mashburn would definitely be one of the best scorers in the NBA. I know we all just seen the interview, right, where he was talking about how Michael Jordan helped him with his game. He broke down his entire game and gave him tips on how to score.
Right, Carmelo as well. He did the same thing with Carmelo Anthony. He was trying to average 30. He just made it real simple. I can't remember the exact verbiage that Carmelo used. He was like, just think about this. Get you 2 layups and 1 jumper per quarter. Your free throws gonna come. And then when you think about the average out through the game, you're like, oh, that is about 30 points a game. The man mapped it out. So, hey, man. But let's move on to the next game. All right. We are at the 1989 Detroit Pistons. All right. The 1989 Detroit Pistons, who at the time set one of the all-time marks in the playoffs, 15-2 record, up against the 2001 Lakers. I started with Coach Scott last time. I don't even know if I should start with Coach J.O. because I think I know where he's going with this one. But I'm going to go ahead, let you go with it, Coach J.O. Do the 1989 Detroit Pistons beat the 2001 Lakers?
Come on, man. Come on. Listen, as I stated last time in the first round, the Detroit Pistons, I'm not saying they are overrated team, but their playoff run was overrated. Okay? Again, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it again. The path of most resistance. We got to remember that, people. We got to remember that. You cannot play a birdless Boston Celtics team and get credit for it. You can't do that. You can't. You played a Michael Jordan team when Craig Hodges was his second leading scorer at 12 points per game. You got to understand these things. The Pistons didn't see a 30-point per game scorer. The Lakers had 2. Let's see who the Lakers played. 50-win Portland team with Pippen, Rasheed, Steve Smith, Damon Stoudemire, Bonzi Wells. They swept them. They swept this team.
That was a stacked team.
Okay? A 55-win Kings team, the number 1 offense in the entire NBA. Pager,
Kings
Chris Webber, Vlade Divac, Doug Christie, Bobby Jackson. They went from 101 points per game to 97 points per game. Okay? The Lakers were playing defensive as well. The number 1 seed Spurs team, 58 wins, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Sean Elliott, swept them. Kobe averaged 33, 7, and 7. Okay? Come on. How are you going to beat that? How are you going to beat that, Coach? Talk to me.
I thought the Spurs were actually going to beat the Lakers that year, the Twin Towers, but I was wrong. Coach Scott, who do you have? The 1989 Detroit Pistons or the 2001 Lakers? Wait. Coach J.O., you're going for the 01 Lakers. How many games?
4.
This is where the crickets was supposed to come in at. The crickets, the silence. So you're not even going to get the 89 Pistons 1 game.
No, not one.
Is a sweep?
One game, not 1 game.
Not one.
Coach, all right, Coach Scott. The 1989 Detroit Pistons versus 2001 Lakers. Who wins why and in how many games? What we looking at? I mean, listen, I get the statistics, but wow, man, it's on you. It's on you, Coach. Go ahead.
Yikes, Batman. Look. The fans have spoken. This 1989 Piston team beat the 2004 Piston team, which worked the 2004 Lakers, which is the same team. Let's be real about this. So here's why the 1989 Pistons beat the 2001 Lakers 4-2. Here's why. They're a better team. It's a team full of dogs. You got 2 dogs on the Lakers and a bunch of show poodles. And let me tell you how. Look, you got Isaiah Thomas. You got Joe Dumars, Bill Laimbeer, Adrian Dantley, and Mark Aguirre. Coming off the bench, Dennis Rodman, John Sally, Benny the Microwave Johnson, Rick Mahone, and Daryl Dawkins. Listen, if you think Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal last long enough to sweep these 1989 Pistons, you are absolutely crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. Like I don't know what is in the cup. What is in the GOAT debate cup? What is in that cup?
Well, statistically, Coach Scott, based on the game, the offense, the defense, the rebounding, the chemistry, why would you say the 89 Pistons win?
Here's why. Because at 106 points per game offensively and at 100 points per game defensively, they were ranked second in the league in defense that year. They were ranked 16 in offense. But at 107 points per game, the Lakers themselves were giving up 97. So it's not a stretch for me to think that these 1989 Pistons would actually score 105 points per game. It's not a stretch. It's not a far gone conclusion. Why? Because they had a bench, and their bench was just as effective. They plugged and played just as well as their starting unit did. If you look at the careers of their bench players versus the Lakers bench players, we clearly see the distinction between that 89 Piston team and the 2001 Laker team.
Well, Coach J.O., fair points. And they had arguably four Hall of Famers on the 89 Pistons team. You still don't think they would have at least win one game against the 2001 Lakers?
I'm going to tell you why, right? Think about this, right? You said that the Lakers will only win 2 games, right? Two. You know who else won 2 games? Michael Jeffrey Jordan by himself. Listen, he won 2 games with Craig Hodges scoring 12 points per game.
Allen Iverson beat them
No.
What are you talking about?
Slow down, Coach. Slow down. Craig Hodges was his second leading scorer. And they took the Pistons to 6. Kobe and Shaq are scoring 30 apiece. 30. The Pistons have not seen that. Think about this, right? 1996 playoffs. Didn't the Bulls play the Magic? And wasn't Dennis Rodman on those Bulls team? And this was in 96. Last time I checked, Shaq gave Dennis Rodman 28, 10, something like that. That's in 1996. How much more so MVP level Shaquille O'Neal in 2001? How much more so? You got to understand this.
How can he do it with waves and waves and waves of people coming at him all game? All game. I named the starting 5, and then I named a second starting 5 in Dennis Rodman, John Sally, Benny the Microwave Johnson, Rick Mahone, and Daryl Dawkins.
Listen.
They are coming off the bench.
Okay, think about this. They went 6 games with Michael Jordan, Bill Cartwright, Scottie Pippen, and Craig Hodges.
Did you say Bill Cartwright?
I understand this.
Did you say Bill Cartwright?
That's who took the Pistons 6 games. They took the Pistons 6 games. Okay? Think about this. The Pistons.
Oh, in the
The Pistons they were holding teams to 92 points per game in the playoffs. That's great. The Spurs held teams to 88 points per game, and the Lakers swept them.
Coach.
Okay,
Lakers
swept them.
Team, their opponent was scoring 97 points per game. 97 points per game. They were ranked 23rd in the league. 23rd. The Pistons were already scoring 106, so they couldn't stop nobody.
Oh.
They couldn't stop nobody.
Slow down. We know they couldn't stop MJ. We know they couldn't stop MJ. They couldn't stop MJ. They couldn't stop MJ from scoring 30, and they supposed to stop the Lakers when they got 2 30-point-per-game players? No, sir. It's not happening. It's not happening.
The same thing that killed the Lakers.
This is
same
easy.
Things that killed the Lakers
easy.
would have been the same things that killed the Lakers coming up against these 1989 Pistons.
No, this is easy.
All right.
This one is easy.
So, all right. Just so we can know, Coach Ayo, 89 Pistons, 2001 Lakers. Who takes the series and how many games?
Again, Lakers in 4. Easy. Sweet. Bye-bye.
Ooh. Coach Scott, 1989 Pistons, 2001 Lakers. Who takes the series and how many games?
89 Pistons, 4-2. Easy.
All right. Viewers, it's up to y'all. The link is down below in the description section. Also, it's pinned in the comment section. Make sure you go hit the link, go to the bracket, and vote. Share this shit. Make sure you share it as well. Share the video. Get everybody in on voting. We want to see a lot of votes so it can be not just us, not just a few viewers, but everybody. Everybody vote. We're finna move to the next game and the last game in this bracket, and we're going to determine who's going to the Final Four, the semifinals. The last game on the bracket is the 1991 Chicago Bulls and the 2016 Golden State Warriors. I know who wins, but we started with Coach J last time. We're going to go to Coach Scott this time. Coach Scott, 1991 Bulls, 2016 Lakers. Who wins and why and how many games?
1991 Bulls, 4-1. Very, 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 very easy. They're at a better offensive advantage. Here's why. You have Michael Jordan, a younger Michael Jordan, playing the best basketball that anybody had ever seen. He was averaging 31, 6, and 8, 2 steals per game. I mean, what could Steph really do with that? I mean, what could he really do with that? Pippen in the playoffs was just absolutely phenomenal. 22, 9, and 6, 2 steals a game. I mean, what could you really do with that, Clay? I mean, Horace Grant, better scoring. It's not Dennis Rodman, but better scoring, more effective scoring, better offensive efficiency with a Horace Grant than a Dennis Rodman. He's dropping 13, 8, and 2. Bill Cartwright, 10, 5, and 2. I mean, it's just problems all over the board. And this is a KD list 2016 Warrior team. So the 1991 Bulls, they take this easy. 4-1, no doubt.
Coach J.O., I'm going to guess here, but you got to correct me. You're going with the 91 Bulls because that was a hell of a point. This is like, yeah, Dennis Rodman ain't there, and Dennis Rodman's one of the greatest defenders of all time, if you're asking me. But where they lose that defense, they made up with Horace Grant's offense. So who you going with, 91 Bulls or the 2016 Golden State Warriors? How many games and why?
I'm going with the 91 Bulls, right? And it's not as easy as Coach Scott said it is, right? This Bulls team had to learn how to win, right? But, okay, we're dealing with a Warriors team that just choked in the playoffs, right? We saw it. We could throw the regular season out the window right here. So home court just doesn't matter. I have the Bulls winning in 7 at Oracle. You know why? I'm going to show you. You know why?
7 games?
If the phony goat can win in 7 at Oracle, how much more so the real goat can win in 7 at Oracle? The phony goat did it. The phony goat did that.
Who's the phony goat?
We know who the phony goat is. LeBron James. We know who the phony goat is, right? He came to Oracle. He came to Oracle.
I didn't know.
And came back from 3-1. How much more so MJ? The Warriors in the 2016 playoffs,
They lost 9 games. They only lost 9 in the regular season. They lost 4 of those games at home. Home court didn't matter. That didn't matter. They were going to lose anyway. Okay? Think about this. In the playoffs, this is what really matters. The Bulls were 103 points per game, holding their opponents to 92 points per game. Okay? The Bulls averaged 25 assists per game. Okay? They could move the ball. They could score as well. They're going to take their other teams out of their offense. They were going to take the Warriors out of their offense. They held teams to 19 assists per game. What else are you going to do? As Coach said, this is the KD-less Warriors. All right? And this Warriors teams ISO more than the 17 Warriors with KD. Who's going to ISO on that team? Klay Thompson? Iguodala, Sean Livingston, Harrison Barnes, on Pippen and Jordan? No, sir. It's not happening. It's not. Okay? The pace of play dropped. All right? The Warriors went from 96.8 in the regular season to 92 in the finals. That's a key factor. A key factor. The Bulls are all over the Warriors. It's close because the Bulls just learned how to win. But overall, the Warriors choke. MJ's the GOAT. The phony GOAT did it. MJ can do
it. Well, Coach Scott, I heard him. I don't know about 7 games, but I agree with everything. I can kind of get why he say 7, Coach, but I don't know about 7, Coach J.O. Coach Scott.
You don't know 7?
I don't know
Why
about
not?
7.
The Bulls just learned how to win now. The Bulls just learning how to win. This is not the 96 Bulls now. This is not that stacked roster. The roster wasn't stacked with the Bulls. They wasn't stacked now.
So are the Warriors. They were learning how to win as well.
Well, they won.
Actually, they didn't.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? They won already.
Well, they weren't learning how to win. This is a 61-21 team. They did a lot of winning together. Let's be clear. They did a lot of winning. They were 7th in offense and they were 4th in defense. They scored 110 points per game, which the Warriors only had They scored 115 points per game based on the defense that they were playing. They 92 points in the playoffs. Bulls were holding teams to 92 points per game in the playoffs. If you look at just simple math, if they drop them down to 100 points per game, 105 points per game, the average that they were scoring was 110 points per game, they still win. That's just basic math. And you think that they're going to take the 91 Bulls 7 games?
Oh, they would have took them 7, right? No. It's a difference. The Bulls would have took them 7 and won. You get what I'm saying? The Warriors would have had the home court advantage. But we saw in these playoffs, in the 2016 playoffs, we saw the Warriors down 3-1, and we saw them lose a 3-1 lead. Okay? So they have shown themselves to be perpetual chokers. Okay? So that home court advantage wouldn't matter. Again, the phony GOAT, if the phony GOAT can do it, why the real GOAT couldn't do it in 7?
Well, here's the thing. They actually would have got beat by the Oklahoma City if KD just stays consistent. If he just stays consistent.
But that's why the Warriors were a good team, because they did also come back from 3-1. The greatness of Steph Curry. You got to remember now, he was the unanimous MVP. Let's not act like Steph Curry is not on that team. Let's not act like that.
Well, what does he do when Michael Jordan is he's isolated with Michael Jordan? What does he do? What does he do?
The same thing he did to the phony GOAT. You remember how he beat the phony GOAT?
No.
He swept the phony GOAT.
Now
beat the phony GOAT 3 times in the finals.
Now you're the same coach. Now you're the same coach that talks about Michael Jordan's defensive prowess. Now you're the same coach. Right. And you're telling me a 6'6", all NBA, all everything real GOAT is going to allow a Steph Curry at 6'3" to drop 30 on?
Hold on. Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying.
Am I understanding that correctly?
No. I like Michael Jordan in that matchup, but let's not disrespect Curry like he will not get his now. Come on, let's not do that. we saw Steph Curry 3 out of 4 times wipe the floor with the phony GOAT. We saw that. Okay? That's his new name on the show, the phony GOAT. We saw him wipe the floor 3 out of 4 years with the phony GOAT. Okay?
But Coach
And
J.O.,
also swept them one
isn't that like saying, because you're referring to LeBron James when you say phony GOAT.
Right.
But if you're saying, well, he wiped the floor with LeBron James, therefore he'll get his with Michael Jordan. But wouldn't that be like making Jordan and LeBron equivalent, going against your own argument to say? Because
I don't think
he wiped the floor with the phony GOAT. He would at least get his, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you're just going to completely take Steph Curry out the game. You get what I'm saying?
I agree with that. I agree.
Show some respect. Let's not act like Curry's not a top 10 player ever.
Hey, right. You're not going to just shut him down. I agree. I definitely agree.
What I'm saying is Steph is going to have to perfect coming across half court and shooting the ball like he was doing in his warm-ups where you shoot those half court shots that he makes all the time. He's going to have to perfect that. He's going to have to perfect it.
Yeah.
Then where's the rest of his team going to what help does he have? Pippen on Clay.
Like this is not the 96 Bulls. This is not the 96 Bulls now. Let's get that correct.
Did you hear what I said? Pippen averaged 22, 9, and 6 with 2 steals in the playoffs.
Hey, Clay averaged 22 points a game. What?
Are you honestly telling me? Are you honestly telling me that Clay and Steph are gonna get off 3 games on the 91 Bulls? Am I understanding this correctly?
That's what he said.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what's going to happen.
What is their answer? What is their answer for Horace Grant? What is their answer for that?
Great question. Last time I checked, Abaya, correct me if I'm wrong. Last time I checked, didn't Coach Scott say Mr. Triple Single, Mr. Hall of Famer Draymond Green was this all-world, all-time great defender? Am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Although I disagree with it. It was said. He did say it.
I said,
correct me if I'm wrong.
Answer? What's the answer? Draymond Green? Great. What's the answer for Bill Cartwright? What's the answer for BJ Armstrong? What's the answer for Stacey King? What's the answer for Will Purdue?
Really?
What's the answer?
Harrison
Barnes?
Are you going to stop him or are you going to let him keep doing that?
Harrison Barnes?
I'm actually leaving.
Harrison Barnes? That's the answer?
Hold on.
What's the answer?
Slow down. Did you just say, listen, I love Stacey King. I do. That's my guy. I watch a lot of Bulls games. He's the Bulls announcer right now. Listen, no, man. No, don't do that. Okay?
Hey,
Steph Curry, 30 points per game. Klay Thompson, 22 points per game. Barnes, 14. Mo Spates off the bench, 12 points per game.
12 points per game.
Mo buckets. Okay? Let's not act like this Warriors team.
That's a team with no body. This 91 Bulls team was going to be more. These guys were younger. These guys were more physical. They were ready. They were more physical than this 2016 Warriors team. And again, this is a KD-less Warriors team.
They still had Iguodala. They still had Sean Livingston off the bench. They had Barbosa as well. Okay? You had Andrew Bogut.
Physicality, though.
Hold on. Andrew Bogut was very, very physical. Festus Ezeli. You got to understand, the reason why the 2016 NBA Finals took a turn is because Bogut got hurt in Game 5. Bogut got hurt in Game 5, and LeBron James had underlay to the lane. Okay? Bogut wasn't down there to defend the rim. He wasn't. One of the best shot blockers in the league, one of the best rim protectors in the league that year.
Okay. All right. Well, as you guys see, even when they agree, they disagree. They both pick the same team.
Hey, we just got to be respectful, man. We got to be respectful.
All right. Well, listen, that's the bracket. That's it. The 1996 Chicago Bulls against the 1987 Los Angeles Lakers. The 2017 Golden State Warriors versus the 1997 Chicago Bulls. We have the 1989 Detroit Pistons against the 2001 Lakers, and the 1991 Bulls against the 2016 Golden State Warriors. Make sure you cast your vote and be here next week when we go live. We'll be live next week. And it's a semifinals. We have 4 games. So, we'll take a couple phone calls. You guys call in and let us know what you think and who you think is going to be ultimately the 2 teams to come down to the wire in the championship. Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram at The GOAT Debate. Follow us on Twitter. We are on all social media. All right. And soon to be going live on Facebook as well. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn that bell on. And so when we drop these shows, you guys can be the first to be a part, to come participate and help us decide who is the GOAT. With that being said, we will see you guys next week. We're out. Welcome to The GOAT Debate, the premier online sports debate show where engaging discussions and thrilling debates unfold as we determine who is the greatest of all time in every sport. Be sure to subscribe, call in, and participate. Come and be a part of the conversation.